Welcome to my channel, True Crime Therapy. Today we're going to discuss the horrifying case of a 6-month-old child from Evansville, Indiana, who was so neglected and uncared for that he was devoured by rats, having his fingers gnawed down to the bone. This little baby was left to be eaten by rats that infested the home. Yes, you heard me right. An Evansville, Indiana child who was only 6 months old was chewed on by rats over and over again, to the point that his fingers were gnawed down to the bone, and this baby will never have use of those fingers again because of neglect. Let's get into the specifics of this horrific case of child abuse that occurred last year on September 13, 2023. David Skonnebaum lived in a little house that was owned by a relative. David, the 6-month-old's father, lived in the home with his wife, Angel Renee, and her adult sister Delania Thurman. There were a total of 5 children. 3 belonged to David and Angel Renee, and 2 other little ones belonged to the baby boy's aunt, Delania Thurman. The oldest of the 5 children in the home was a 6-year-old, and the youngest was this 6-month-old little boy. David and Angel Renee were his parents. There was also a pet dog in the home. The home was infested with rats, and it is recorded that Indiana Child Services were previously involved with the family in the past when 3 other children in that home were bitten by the rats who took over the home. Why the children were not removed during the prior rat-biting incident is insane to me. However, notes state that Child Services tried to help the family clean up the house, but the family was non-compliant, so Child Services just gave up on trying to help dissolve the rat issue. Reading that, while researching this case, got my blood boiling. They should have removed the children from the home then. To think, Child Services was involved prior, and they did not force the family to pull their shit together and clean up the place is crazy. Apparently, they just walked away from the situation and left the kiddos to rot in the rat-infested, filthy home of these nasty people. Another failed system. Too much paperwork. For Child Services to remove the children during the prior incident is the real reason Child Services failed this little boy and his siblings. As the story unfortunately goes, all the adults in the home, Dad, Mom, and Auntie, were addicted to meth and apparently were too busy drugging up to care about the safety of the babies in that home. All adults were charged with child neglect. Mom and Dad got felony charges, but the aunt only got 2 years probation. Dad was sentenced to 16 years. The system is made to help the criminals, not set up to support the victims. The system failed to save them.